How did basic poker rules originate historically? Have you ever wondered where the basic rules of poker came from? The story of poker's origins is quite fascinating and involves a mix of history and cultural influences. Poker's basic rules developed gradually from earlier card games, particularly in the 19th century. The game has roots in several older games, including the French game known as Poque and the Persian game called As-Nas. These games introduced essential elements like betting rounds, bluffing, and hand rankings, which became key features of poker. In the early 1800s, poker was played in the United States using a smaller deck of 20 cards, which included the ace through 10. The hand rankings were quite simple back then, featuring pairs, three of a kind, and four of a kind. Betting was a core aspect from the beginning, highlighting the balance between skill and chance. The concept of bluffing, which involves betting strongly on a weak hand to mislead opponents, was inherited from these earlier games and became a defining trait of poker. Poker gained popularity quickly in the American South, especially on Mississippi riverboats during the 1830s, where gambling was a common pastime. As the game evolved, it transitioned to using a full 52-card deck and introduced more complex variants like 5-card draw and 7-card stud. The rules began to include standardized hand rankings, betting structures, and procedures such as dealing cards face down. Players were also allowed to discard and draw new cards, adding more strategy to the game. One interesting early rule was the jackpot, or jacks or better, requirement. This rule limited opening bets to players holding at least a pair of jacks, encouraging more disciplined play. Although this rule was later abandoned, it reflected early attempts to formalize the game. By the late 19th and early 20th centuries, poker variants like Texas Hold'em emerged, refining the rules and gameplay even further. Texas Hold'em, which originated in Texas, introduced community cards that all players share, adding a new layer of strategy. This variant became widely popular and eventually became the standard for major poker tournaments. In summary, the basic poker rules originated from a blend of earlier card games that emphasized betting, bluffing, and hand rankings. These rules were shaped by cultural influences and practical adaptations in 19th century America, especially in gambling environments like riverboats and saloons. Over time, the rules became more standardized, leading to the structured game we know today. Understanding these origins helps players appreciate the strategic foundations and traditions behind poker's basic rules.